Morning, everyone. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Especially the front rows. I've often seen the friends saying the least. Morning, everyone. Morning. Great, great. First of all, Navita, thank you so much for the introductions. I know it's a paid introduction, so really helps us to sell our brand. Second edition of Beyond. First of all, okay. Thank you so much. Immense gratitude and I would say complete, overwhelming, aspect. It took us 4 months, interactions with 168 thought leaders, just to understand what should go into this event. And I always keep on saying, for us, it's not an event. It's all about giving a very curated, bespoke, personalized experience to each one of the partners, members, leaders, and the larger ecosystem. And that's where our partners, our leaders, our members, and our associates really stood out, because it's not easy to pull off an event, specifically when the venue is Leela. Financial consideration apart, tremendous support in terms of making that look, this is not an event. This is one of the most pioneering, trend-setting event we would like to be reckoned for. And why is that? And I'll come to that. But for the uninitiated, there are a lot of questions folks ask me, am I audible if I'm just missing? Okay, I just want to see if the folks are also alive and kicking in the morning. We've come a long way. And I remember an interaction with my dear friend Pankaj and RB 4 years back. I was taking this entrepreneurial journey and I said, Pankaj, RB, what should be done? He said, look, data analytics, AI industry, and Gen AI now is recession-proof, future-proof. Do something which you leave a legacy, an ecosystem gets created. What started as a sheer serendipity, today, for us, it's beyond our expectation. And that's where the onus, responsibility, what we are carrying is immense, because when you have 950 leaders from 825 organizations, buy and white, filtered, assess, top of the line, top notch, marquee, eclectic, you can't go wrong. And what gives boost to us, me, two of my co-founders, and 68 team members, what we have is this 32,000 members. The sheer feedback, input, suggestions, what we receive is tremendous. 25 countries they represent. And any talk which is happening by our thought leaders, the change maker, UC51, is attended by 4,000 to 5,000 members at any given point of time. And when you have that kind of an ecosystem, you realize that, look, the onus is on us as an industry to define what's the new next. Let me also roll some of the things which are crucial for everyone to understand about 3AI. One, we are very clear about democratization of thought leadership in data, analytics, AI, and Gen AI. I use all these 4 in the same continuum because that's our industry is known for, and it's become quite complex though. What's more important about thought leadership is not about speaking. It's not about showcasing, demonstrating, coming into the crowd, and no. It's about a point of view of where the new next or the new possibilities in data, analytics, AI would be. Which means for the ensuing companies and leaders, it's a mark they want to leave on the table when they come at 3AI. Talent outreach, talent advocacy, positioning, mind share, visibility, branding are some of the associated features what we look at, what we impart, and everything is personalized, bespoke, and absolutely what we say curated. And we take a pride because Along with me and my two co-founders, we have an aggregated experience of 65 years in data analytics AI. And we have seen the movies multiple times that a lot of leaders, after spending 15, 20, 25 years in the industry, are still figuring out what's their point of view, what's their differentiation. Always realize, please, when there is a high tide, even a lot of other people who should not be in the mix come into the picture. This is exactly what is happening in analytics, data, AI industry. The ones who have no clue are the ones most visible on LinkedIn, and the ones who are the most experts and the practitioners are somewhere in a stealth or below the radar. And this is what we are trying to do, to bring those leaders up front, right in front of you. Very quick milestone, and it's a defining moment for us. Really thank my co-founder NK for this. We've signed an MOU with Telangana government recently, and Mr. MSR is also here. We'll have Ramadevi also joining us. Creating an ecosystem of AI analytics is imperative not only for enterprises today, but also for the governments, also for the society and nations at large. What it means is not just about networking. It doesn't mean just about getting those interventions and engagements. It's getting about a collective wisdom, nuggets of experience, insights from these leaders to decide how to resolve large, complex, unresolved problems of the society, governments, humanity at large with AI. And this is exactly what this MOU will provide us a leeway to ensure Hyderabad is seen as a next destination in the global AI ecosystem. We'll have more further details on the go. For the ones who are not aware, we have 3 bespoke forums: UC51, Thought Leader Circle, TLC, Changemaker Circle, CMC. UC51, handpicked 51 leaders from Bangalore, really the top of the class. Thought Leader Circle, 950 plus leaders, again by invite, representing 875 organizations. Changemakers, one of the most often neglected cohort of subject matter experts, practitioners, data engineers, architects, pre-sales solutioning guys. This is where we have bunched them. This is the first time an opportunity is being given to them to showcase what I believe is the next new leadership pipeline in data analytics AI. And if that's not enough, our representation of 950 plus leaders is across segments: pure play analytics firms, consulting, GCCs, which is a big whopping 350 plus over there, Indian enterprises, global enterprises, cloud, hyperscaler, digital platforms, startups, tech, BPM providers. So it's a melange of the leadership capital, what we have within TLC. And I must say, for the ones out here who are TLC, and there are almost about 190 of them attending today, the kind of discussions which are happening in our networking meetings, which happens almost, I would say, every 2 months across different locations in India and Dubai, are absolutely very, very upstream strategic. And I've seen some of the best conversations coming out, which is defining the best practices, frameworks, new ontologies, and playbooks in data analytics AI. And this is a great learning for all of us together, put together. We also do what we call these networking sessions. I'm just skimming the slides. There are speaking engagements, which are very defined properties. Then we also have what we call the leadership roundtable sessions, what we keep doing, curated, personalized. Industry needs recognition. It needs those credibility in terms of what and how the awards needs to be institutionalized. 3 categories of awards throughout the year. These are all in the 4th edition. You will have the Acme Awards 3rd edition going live today. That's something which is lined up. My request to everyone in this group, stay put for that. 8,000 plus nominations, 51 winners. Absolutely, I would say top notch in terms of the content, the kind of impact, what they're creating personally, I would say, for the organization and the organization themselves as well. Then we have these what we call interventions, which are special interest groups. We also have the market insights, and I would say the benchmarking reports, thematic studies. As we say, we have learning programs. I'm just trying to give a glimpse of the larger ecosystem interventions, what we do. We also have the largest and the widest repository of articles, white papers, compendiums, solution accelerators through our 3i Atlas, and some 3,500 hours of video content is available on our 3i Flix channel. Beyond, let's come to the second segment of my thought. As I said, 4 months of planning after our Gen AI Max. The last time, our theme was beyond the next possibilities or the new possibilities. We found, beginning of Feb 2023, Gen AI just took off. And everyone was intrigued by the beast called Gen AI in terms of what the new possibilities it will open up. Feb 2024, Gen AI is the most talked about buzzword or the business lexicon amongst the CXO and in the boardrooms. And the FOMO factor is the most significant. And that's where, when we started aggregating the data from our thought leaders, what stood out, that today we are at the cusp of saying it's limitless possibilities of AI, which subsumes Gen AI, digital analytics, data engineering put together, which will define the next course of enterprise future, which includes the GCC as well. And that's where, as Navita mentioned, the theme is all about exploring the vast possibilities of limitless AI, which is a confluence of not just Gen AI or AI, it's a confluence of data engineering, digital analytics, quantum computing, cloud, hyperscaling, and human design put together. So across the day, you will hear sessions around this limitless AI. Now, why this event is different? Let me spend a couple of minutes out here to make you realize what's behind this entire, I would say, movie. One, this is a transformation zone where you're sitting. Post the first coffee break at 11:20, 11:30, we will open up the innovation zone. So 2 zones will run parallelly from the start. This zone, transformation, is all about the group panel leadership talks, but they are focusing more on the AI strategy and transformation elements. Zone 2, which is innovation, which is just 10, I would say, meters ahead of this, will define how new age AI, Gen AI solutions are being innovated. There are talks about innovative solutions in clinical trials, in CPG, in retail industries, and also those leaders will also demonstrate through the use cases, solution accelerators, what's happening in that space. I would like each one of you to make the best use of these 2, I would say, zone at your will. Second, as I said, 168 leaders, when they start defining what should go into this, it's like almost a kind of a 24 hours movie, but we condense this thing. So across the day, 54 speakers will talk about 30 sessions, which will include, one, our trademark solo talks. Now, this is something which we take a pride that some of these talks, what we call spotlight and front runner talks, are unique. You will realize for 8 minutes, the leader will stand out here and talk about something which is trending, something they have created for their organization, and something which they are demonstrating through the aggregated knowledge what they have gained. For the first time ever, and I'm releasing some glimpses, 3 GCC leaders, Sheena Mori from Broadridge, Kaushik Das from JCPenney, and we will also have Ambika Rajgopal from Michelin, talk about specifically what they are doing within their GCC to change the course in terms of data analytics AI. And trust me, this is what I call the coming up of the GCCs, because if the leaders themselves are taking up the mantle to define new age solutions around AI, Gen AI, imagine what will happen from the parent organization. So it's closely linked. It's almost seamless in terms of what's happening in the parent organizations and GCC put together. What's also more important, we have, as I mentioned, awards in the evening, and some top-notch kind of winners. And there's something which is a surprise for the evening, leaders exclusive evening. And I've always maintained that, look, for us, events are not just about accumulation of sessions, it's about an experience. So for the handpicked 138 leaders, we have for the first time a curated choreographed fashion show, which is absolutely ensemble, and there are some surprise elements over there. Last time when we did some fashion show, which we attempted in terms of making the analytics leader walk the ramp with, I would say, the professional models, I think only few stayed put. The rest of them, I call it, developed the cold feet. But this time, I realized that, look, the idea is to have fun. The idea is to have kind of intimate networking, as we call it. The idea is also to have really kind of some element of forging new connections, and that's exactly what this leaders exclusive evening will do. Coming to something which I want to spend what happened when we started talking to our leader. And this is an aggregation, by the way, what we have accumulated through our sessions, what we did with the leaders last year. One, if there's anything which is happening today does not have a GenAI element, it's not happening. I keep on saying, if you're missing what's happening in the GenAI, you haven't arrived in the professional arena. And why is that? Let me give you some instances. Numbers are clearly staggering. A new category of GenAI comes in from nowhere, and within 1 year, it's touted to be a $200 billion market in just 3 to 4 years, a whopping CAGR of 34%, which is the fastest amongst any other exponential technologies ever. And if you put data, analytics, AI put together, we're talking about almost $500 billion addressable market getting created very fast. And let me tell you, when I run these numbers next year, the numbers will change. And it's getting to a stage where it's not even incremental, it's taking a hockey stick approach. What is more important is that when we are talking about a GenAI as a boardroom conversations, enterprises and GCCs are linking their strategies to AI. Today, innovation, transformation, disruption as buzzwords cannot happen if there are no elements of data analytics AI. But there is a catch over there. For the ones who have done it, for the ones who have done multiple engagements, any analytics AI intervention is a factorial of the maturity of the organization. And which is where this industry overall needs a lot of evangelization. And my request to the leaders out here in this room is start figuring out by saying we have to clear the clutter. The fear of unknown causes so much of anxiety amongst the boardrooms and the business leader that they are not really clear about the tangible steps they need to take for enterprise-wide AI adoption. I'll talk about that more. What's more important out here is, if we talk about Gen AI strategy, there are 3 elements. And it's linked in terms of intertwining with business strategy. 1, reimagining customer experiences today is the new normal with Gen AI. Personalized, recommended, bespoke, customer innovation services, supports is all happening through Gen AI. Second, organizations never used to consider something until Gen AI consider as the holy grail of efficiencies and efficacy within the enterprise, which is where Gen AI is showing tangible business metrics and the results in a very short time. And look, I keep on saying what Gen AI has done is a comparison. For the ones, with all due regards, driving Toyota and Ford, suddenly there is an aspiration to drive the Maseratis and the Bugattis of the world. This is exactly what Gen AI has done. The mainstream is now aspiring for more, and which is where the transformation of the businesses today is happening on a very, very real-time basis. And Gen AI as a strategy is assuming a very chunky, what I call a character today. And this is again, when I mentioned AI is subjective, it's factorial. And when I say AI, it subsumes AI, data analytics, Gen AI. AI subsumes everything when it comes to enterprises realizing the value or the transformation only when there is an upward curve. Often in the talks we had with the leaders, the biggest conundrum the leaders are facing today, we're trying to copy and paste. Okay, an ex-GCC, an ex-organization, an ex-digital platform has done this, let me try this. It's a recipe for disaster. Without looking at the quality data set, without looking at the right data foundations, engineering capabilities, even the human in the loop equation, you cannot build AI-based enterprise. That's something which cannot be done. And there are often those case studies today, through our interaction with the leaders, we are realizing why they are failing. And I'll talk about that in the next few slides. These are the few topical trends what we have gained, and I want you to please take a look at these, something which I call the nuggets of experience of the leaders through the 168 conversations we had in the last 4 months. Absolutely top-notch, strategic, upstream work which is happening, which is defining how this industry will move in the next couple of years. One, lot of shift and morphing, I call it, is happening from analytics to AI to Gen AI. Whether it's about center of excellence, it's about capability hub, which also means the new age capabilities, solutions, offerings are being defined in Gen AI. And it's actually from a ground up. So which means for the providers, if you are a pure play analytics firm, you are a hyperscaler, you are a kind of a tech BPM provider, it's time to think afresh. The classical approach of descriptive, predictive, prescriptive analytics will not work. Let me tell you, because that's something will give you a good meeting, but not a monetization. And for the ones who are working in a third party, I keep on saying monetization is damn important. The other thing which is important today, every organization is looking either for being an AI first, and if they have missed the bus, they're saying AI-powered enterprise. Now, what is AI-powered or AI-first enterprise? It has those foundations wherever those AOPs, annual business planning, strategic meetings are happening. Today, AI analytics is being discussed, period. Chief analytics officers are being invited to the meeting. And this is one of the reasons why we have kept a very, I would say, crucial roundtable where through our interactions with the thought leaders, this thing came up that isn't it time for the chief analytics or the chief data officer to assume the C-suite club? So there is a debate happening in terms of what a chief analytics officer versus a CIO versus CTO conundrum should be, and what it takes for the chief analytics officer to start assuming more board-level positions. And let me tell you, maybe this is the most opportunistic time for all of us in industry to think how we can take this whole, I would say, chief analytics officer stature up. The other thing, corporates and enterprises take decisions. And decisions are always gut, intuitive, historical, and maybe something what's happened in the past. Through AI analytics, there is a steady stream of decision intelligence which is being created by the algorithms running across the value chain of the organization to start analyzing what decisions a marketing, supply chain, operations, or an HR or a finance head needs to take. This is game-changing. More important, when we look at the other set of, I would say, trends, this is something which is happening that today, the most rhetoric thing which is happening around the jobs is, am I still relevant? Am I still in the game? And let me tell you for the first time, my interactions with the members of system player tells me even the most established, entrenched analytics AI leaders and practitioners are having anxiety. Career pathways, lattice of data analytics AI will not be the same what exists today. That's something, it's absolutely not possible to have the same kind of, let's say, the modelers, the data analysts, or let's say the data engineers. It will change dramatically. This is exactly what Gen AI has done. So for the ones who are investing in talent, think twice how this talent will play out for the next couple of years. And more importantly, for the GCCs, this is the biggest game-changing thing which has happened in the last 2 years. And we have a 350 plus representation of GCCs that gone are the times when their yardstick of success and impact was about size and scale. Today, it's about all the value and the impact they're creating for the parent organization, and it's so seamless, it's almost one organization put together. As we see also, there are some use cases of GenAI which are getting initiated across the business function. That's something very, very, I would say, changing. More importantly, when we talk about how GenAI is looking at this, I'll take something for the sake of time. I think it's time for the leaders, since this is an event which is all about data analytics AI industry. My request and submission to all the leaders, irrespective of where you belong, it's time to step up and change the game. This fallacy of that analytics AI short-lives, it's not there. I can tell you, next 15 years, we can have the same 15 editions of Beyond, and we'll have something new to learn, absorb. What's more important is be more strategic, be more transformative. The classical days of just regression to rags in terms of technical influence needs to change. We need to bring more business flavor, impact stories to the table, and this is where some of the attempt we are taking throughout the day to ensure all the leaders who are coming on the stage will talk about how they have solved those problems using limitless AI. And maybe it's also a time for us to start defining the AI strategy for the organization, which is much more bespoke and personalized. And I keep on saying, this is how the moment of truth is. If you're not thinking just like in the picture, maybe you're not in the GenAI moment. Thank you so much. Enjoy Beyond. Thank you so much.